What if I told you that one of the most powerful women in history wasn't a pharaoh, but a queen who may have ruled like one? A woman whose beauty became legendary, but whose influence was even greater. This is the story of Nefertiti, the Egyptian queen who redefined power, challenged tradition, and helped reshape an empire. Let's go back 3,300 years. Ancient Egypt was at its peak. Pyramids already towered over the desert. The Nile still gave life to the land, and gods ruled the hearts of the people. But something was brewing. Change was coming. Enter Nefertiti, whose name means the beautiful one has come. She arrived not just as a royal wife, but as a force. Married to Pharaoh Akhenaten, she would become queen of one of Egypt's most turbulent and transformative times. Most queens stood behind the throne. Nefertiti, she stood beside it. In temple carvings and monuments, she's depicted smiting enemies, making offerings to the gods, and wearing the same crown as the pharaoh himself. She wasn't just a royal consort, she was a co-ruler. Some historians even argue she may have reigned alone after Akhenaten's death, possibly under the name Nefertiti. That's right, Nefertiti may have ruled Egypt as pharaoh at least for a short time. But what made her power so unique wasn't just her titles. It was the bold religious revolution she helped lead. At the heart of Nefertiti's story lies one of the biggest gambles in ancient history. Together with Akhenaten, she upended centuries of tradition by rejecting Egypt's many gods in favor of one, Aten, the sun disk. This shift wasn't just spiritual, it was political. Imagine replacing your country's entire belief system overnight. That's what they tried. Temples were closed, priests lost power. A new city, Akhetaten, modern-day Amarna, was built from scratch as the new capital, dedicated to Aten. And Nefertiti wasn't just along for the ride. She was Aten's chief worshipper, often shown in artwork offering prayers, alongside Akhenaten as equals. This bold experiment, though, came at a cost. Religious revolutions rarely end smoothly. After Akhenaten's death, the empire wobbled. The new religion was deeply unpopular with many Egyptians. The temples of the old gods had been abandoned, their priests angry and displaced. Nefertiti suddenly disappears from the records. Some believe she died. Others say she took on a new identity as a pharaoh, or maybe she was quietly removed from power in a return to old traditions. No one knows for sure, but what is clear? After her reign, Egypt tried to erase the entire Amarna period. Temples were torn down, names chiseled away. It was as if Nefertiti and Akhenaten never existed. But history has a way of resurfacing. In 1912, a German archaeologist made a discovery that would put Nefertiti's name back on the map. Her now iconic painted bust, found in the ruins of Amarna. The image, elegant, poised, striking, became one of the most famous artifacts in the world. Suddenly, the forgotten queen was everywhere, and not just for her beauty, but for her audacity, her power, her influence. Nefertiti showed that women could lead not just from behind the scenes, but from the very front of history. Today, Nefertiti's story is more than ancient history. It's a symbol of femininity and strength, of challenging the status quo, of refusing to be just a supporting character in someone else's reign. She's inspired books, films, art, even fashion. She remains a mystery. Her tomb has never been found, her fate still debated. But maybe that's part of the magic. Nefertiti doesn't just belong to one era. She's timeless. In a world where power was passed from father to son, Nefertiti stepped in and rewrote the script, and in doing so, she became immortal. So, next time you think of great rulers, pharaohs, kings, conquerors, don't forget the queen who changed everything without a war, a crown forged not just in gold, but in boldness. This was the story of Nefertiti, the Egyptian queen who redefined power